Good evening, friends. Welcome to our new show of opening traps and pitfalls. Well, I think we are already live here, and I hope that I can. Yeah, we are live. Good evening. You're live here. So, guys, are you there with me? Good evening, friends. Okay, welcome to our new show of opening traps and pitfalls. Well, I think now everything seems to be good. Maybe I opened up some new tab or something like that. That's why it was showing there. Hello Ashish. Guys, let me know is my voice and everything is quite good here, and so that we can continue. And today, yeah, 5th, that's cool. Well, that's good that you are new here, and I hope that you will definitely enjoy with me. And today's session is going to be not that difficult, but not that completely easy also, because I will be asking you questions in between, and we'll be looking at simple opening tricks, you can say, the traps which involve in many of our games. Okay, yeah, audible is there? Yes. Okay, hello. Yes, everything is good. Okay, thank you Butterscotch and Ashish also, thank you very much. So let's start it, guys. Let's start it. Should I start with today's thing? Yeah, I hope I can start it. And the first few of the traps will be very easy ones. So let's start with something which is very basic, like controlling the center. You can say the center play is very important, as you know that in the opening phase controlling the center is very important. Second important thing which we have already talked about is developing your pieces as quickly as possible. And the third most important thing in any opening is king safety, right? So maybe I'll take it a little bit closer to me so that you can hear me more properly. I hope that you can hear me properly now. It might be a little bit louder and more crystal clear than before. Pitfalls means, exactly, if you want to know about pitfalls, means like something which are like small mistakes which you should not miss, or the hidden things. These are not the things which are like directly visible, but these are hidden things. Okay, that is pitfall. Like in Hindi they say, you know, the like small गड्ढे रहते हैं रोड के बीच में, which you cannot really see from long before. You come to know about them only when you arrive to that spot. Okay, so guys, let's start with our today's thing. Today's first thing is very easy. E4, E5. Yes, Mrunal, thank you very much. D4. Okay, very common move. Anybody who wants to control the center, they usually play E4 and then followed by D4. E takes D4, queen takes D4. And now I would like to say, after knight f6, okay, black is developing a piece. White is going to play bishop g5 and pinning the knight here. So my first question for you, after bishop e7, okay, well, the roaming mind, it depends upon the position. There is nothing like this is better or that is better. Okay, Anshit is also here. Hello Anshit. So guys, I have one first question for you. Like in this position, is e5 a good move or a bad move? Why? If it's a good move, then why it is a good move? If it's not a good move, why it is not a good move? And one more thing is also there, that now after e5 move, the knight on f6 is attacked. The idea here from the white side is, once the knight will be moving from this square, the bishop will capture here, and followed by f4 will also be coming. And one more thing is that this knight is not having any good squares here. Well, Amir, the book, all the openings, well, it's very difficult to see, but I can definitely tell you one thing, that you can see in computer chess based software is there, in that opening book is there, in that all the openings are there. Or maybe you can even go for the nuns chess opening or bats fort chess openings. It is all outdated now. Nowadays opening books are particularly related to 1 or 2 openings, or some e4 openings or d4 openings, but all the openings you will not get in just one place. Okay, I hope you got it. It's not that great e5. Yeah, it's not that great e5 move, and this is a very common mistake which people bad move. Okay, fine. So bad move, why is it a bad move? That also you need to tell me. Okay, so the thing is that here what white missed in this position is like, this is a very common mistake. Okay, that's why I'm showing you this thing. This is a very common mistake which happens. You try to push your pawn and attack your opponent's knight, thinking that he might need to go somewhere, but the thing is that you should always pay attention to your opponent's good moves. That is knight c6. Yes, very good. Knight c6 comes with the tempo, and the thing is that the knight is attacking queen as well as the pawn. So to protect the pawn, we need to be in touch with the pawn, right? So here queen e3 or queen f4, these are like two moves we can say, or even queen c3 is there, but queen c3 will be a big blunder because of bishop b4 will be coming, and there will be a pin, and white will just lose the queen. So queen e3 may be one of the ideas here which might happen, but after queen e3 what we will play, we can play knight d5, as well as we can even play knight g4, attacking the pawn by two pieces as well as the queen here. Okay, so here if you capture bishop into e7, queen into e7, then the pawn on e5 will be lost, and it is not a good idea. So guys, basically the thing is that by going for this another move which is there, queen f4 is another move, that then also you will be able to play knight h5 or knight d5. You can play both the moves, and again the queen is being attacked. If you capture here, definitely I can capture it back, and the pawn on e5 will be lost for sure, and if I move my queen anywhere, then the bishop on g5 will be lost. So the thing is that whenever you are going to push any pawn in the center of the board or anywhere, I will remind you this thing once again, because I talked about this thing in my previous lecture also. Pawns are something which you cannot really take back. Okay, once you push them forward, they cannot really come back. So make sure that your move, means basically the pawn move, is always a good move, otherwise it is not good for you. Okay, so before pushing your pawn, give a little bit extra care. Well, Ramakrishna to French defense, I don't know exactly which book you can see, but there are courses, definitely you can see those courses. Anish Giri has a very interesting course on French. Even Pentela Harikrishna also has one course on video series, so maybe you can see that. I don't know exactly about the book, but definitely there are many videos. Okay, fine. So sure, I will go to the next one, guys. Okay, so the next one is e4 e5 d4 e takes d4. Okay, queen takes d4. So guys, today I'm not going to show you something like which is a very big blunder or something. We are going to see small mistakes which are very typical mistakes which happen in the opening phase. Correct? Yes. So do you want to see more small things which happen on the board, which are not like big mistakes, but small mistakes which every one of us do? Just tell me in the chat that yes, you want to see, or you can even give me a thumbs up, maybe like the stream, so that I'll understand it much more better. Just let me know, guys. Okay, cool. So let's see. Now we just looked at one thing, that e5 should not be played, means the pawn move should not be done unnecessarily. If it's necessary, or whether you have thought about it, then it is okay to go, but if you have not thought about your pawn move, then it might lead to a mistake. Okay, so here the next thing which we are going to see here, knight d4, queen d4 happened, knight c6, the knight is attacking on d4. Okay, cool. Thank you very much, guys, for telling me yes, let's start crack it. So here the queen is being attacked. Okay, the queen moves to a4 square. There is some pressure on this diagonal. Okay, pay attention to it. Now after queen a4, black plays knight f6. Very simple move, because he wants to attack the pawn on e4, correct? Then white also supports the pawn with knight c3, and after knight c3 he plays d5 move. Okay, black wants to open up the position, that's why he is playing like that. By playing d5, one thing is quite clear, that the bishop on c8 is now completely opened up. This bishop was already opened up, and one more thing is also there, that maybe at some point bishop d7 might come and the pin will not be there on this diagonal. Okay, developing practical chess skills, there will be 6 videos, guys. One video is already done, still I think 2 videos are already done, 4 videos are remaining. So 6 videos are there in developing the practical chess skills. I hope you are enjoying those videos also. I hope you like the way I teach. Do you like it, guys? I hope you like it. Okay, fine. So here d5 is played. White played bishop g5 to pin the knight on f6 square, which is very understandable. Now d takes e4, and now knight takes e4. Now the thing is that here the knight on f6 is been pinned already, and the knight is also attacking here. So there are certain things which are happening here. Okay, so bishop e7 is a very viable option here, but I will say that after bishop e7 there is a problem. Can you please tell me what would you play in this position if bishop e7 is played? Let's see whether you can tell me the move. If you can tell me the move, I will be very happy. I am waiting for your answer, guys. I'm waiting for your answer. If bishop e7 is played, then what would you play? Means I'm not saying like black is losing, okay? Don't mistake on this thing. Black is not losing, but it is white who will be getting good play. Yeah, rook d1 is definitely one of the options here. Definitely it is a good option. And then black must play bishop d7. There is no other alternative in this position, correct? And another move can also be like just capture here on f6. We can even capture with this also. All these moves are possible in this position, but I will say that rook d1 is the one of the things which I would like to play in this case. Another interesting idea which I can see is bishop to b5, because once you capture here, then I have bishop into c6, capture here, queen into c6 is there, and then followed by I'll capture on e4, and the bishop on e7 will also be pinned. So this is also one of the thing, and white will be the one who will be having one extra pawn. So these are the things which are there. So queen e7 was played in the game. Okay, queen e7 was played in the game, and after queen e7 white castled here, and now after this black captured on e4. Okay, queen e7 was basically played thinking that the knight on e4 is pinned and he cannot really do anything here. That's why long castling was there. So here the thing is that queen into e4 is a big mistake. Can you please tell me why it is a mistake? This move was played, but it is a mistake. Let's see whether you are very sharp in the opening. So this is also something which I would like to say, that in the opening phase, okay, in the opening phase, don't play your queen unnecessarily. If you play your queen unnecessarily, then it is not a good thing. Try to miss, okay, if it's necessary then you should play it, but if it's not necessary, don't play your queen, especially don't bring it too much forward also. Well guys, not just one move, you should at least tell me complete variation. Rook e1 is a blunder. Well Mahesh, I think rook e1 is not a good idea, because nobody is supporting the rook on e1. Yes, correct. Ashish, you are right about this. Rook d8 is a good move, because after rook d8, the thing is that the knight cannot really capture on d8, and if the king captures here, we can simply capture queen takes e4, because after rook d8 check, king d8, the knight will be pinned. Earlier black's idea was like if you capture here on e4, he will capture it back. Okay, that was his idea. But this is a common theme in the opening phase where you make this kind of mistakes, and you should be aware of this thing. So like the moral of the story of telling you this very simple thing is like, don't play your queen unnecessarily in the opening phase, and especially don't take it out also. Okay, don't take it out. I hope you got it. Did you get it, guys? Please let me know if you have got this thing. And if you are new to the stream, do like the stream, because we are going to see more common mistakes which are there in the opening phase by all the amateurs or the budding like upcoming players. Okay, let's go back. We'll see another thing also related to this only. We will just stick to the same thing and then we will see different things also. Let's suppose e takes d4, queen takes d4, then knight c6 is played. Okay, queen is being attacked. Earlier we saw that queen a4 move was played. Now we will see queen e3 move. Okay, queen e3 move, if it's played, then black played g6, knight c3. Okay, both the sides are developing the pieces, which is very common in this kind of positions. Now knight d5. Okay, white is playing the same knight again and again, but he had some kind of a trick in his mind. There. Okay, knight d5, knight g7 is played, and after knight g7, knight e2. Okay, white has some plan. He wants to bring the pieces from a different place. That's why he's playing knight e2, d6 is played, and after d6, bishop b2. Okay, white has a very interesting idea of his sleeves. Now bishop into b2 is not that good move because bishop c3 is coming. Well, after bishop c3, my question for you is like, is bishop into a1 a good move or a bad move? Just let me know. Is it a good move or is it a bad move? So here the thing is that when you fancy to your bishop, you should be careful of giving up that bishop. Okay, just because you are getting some pawn or maybe a rook, you should not just give up the piece. Good? I don't think so. It's good. It's a bad. So if it's bad, then also tell me why it is bad. You should not just tell me good or bad. You should also tell me why it is like that. Not just knight f6. Knight f6 is not just a checkmate. He has king f8 moves. Guys, please tell me. Okay, Butterscotch, can you please tell me the correct answer? Not just bad. And Bundita also. Knight f6 is not the mate. King f8 is the move which is happening there. Okay, king is having the f8 move. After that, what? Well, Mahesh, I already answered your questions. I think you are not paying attention to the stream. I told you there are 6 lectures. Yes, correct. Very good. Knight f6 check, king f8, and then queen h6 is a check and mate. So this is the thing which you should always remember. And one more thing is like, okay, black captured the pawn on b2, but after, even if he captures here, after queen takes c3, the king will be very weak. And look at this dark square weaknesses which are happening around black's king. Even if he castles in this case, it will be still a big mistake, because okay, we can play knight f6 check, the king must go to g square, because if he plays this move, then again we can play knight e8 check. If king moves back, then queen g7 is a check and mate. And if it comes forward, okay, king h6, then obviously this is not something which you would love to play. Maybe I can what can I play here? Okay, queen g7 can be played, or I think queen g7 followed by queen into f8. This is there, means the king will be coming out, and then queen into f6 is there. I can even give this check first, and the king is not having that many squares. That's what I will say. Here I can play h4 maybe, or what should I do? If I give this check, king h6 will be played, and then queen h4 is checkmate. Yeah, queen f6 check, king h6 will be played, and queen h4 is going to be a check and mate, guys. So this is not something which black would love to play. So the thing is that the point of showing you this thing, that when you fancy to your bishop, okay, when you fancy to your bishop, then you should not really give up that bishop just for one pawn. So don't be greedy. The thing is that make sure that your king should be safe in the opening, and if you are not paying attention to your king safety, then it is not a good idea. Okay, so I hope you got it. Okay, fine. So you're getting this kind of all the ideas. We'll go to the some different thing now. Okay, last time some of you asked me about the Danish gambit. Okay, last time some of you asked me about the Danish gambit, so there are few things which are there in the Danish gambit which I would like to show you, and what is Danish gambit also. So today I'm a little bit more prepared for the Danish gambit. Last time I did not know about it, but okay, now I know a few things about Danish gambit, and you should not really miss it. Okay, so e4 e5 d4, e takes d4, and now in Danish gambit c3 is played. We looked at like queen takes d4 earlier in the game, but once you play c3 it is converted into Danish gambit. Okay guys, do like the stream. Okay, you do like the stream, make it a little bit, at least 20 likes. Don't be so do like the stream, so that Danish gambit we are going to see today d takes c3. Okay, after knight takes c3 this will be a normal opening, but in Danish gambit people don't really care for the pawn. First of all, it is played just to activate your pieces as quickly as possible. That's why white player plays bishop c4 in this position. Okay, and after bishop c4, bishop b4 is played by black. Okay, you can definitely capture here, but after this you can see this is the main theme of Danish gambit, that the two bishops will be developed quickly, plus black's pieces are not developed in this case. Okay, black's pieces are still there on their initial position, and white has given up two pawns, but he has got two, like these missiles, you can say, two snipers, you can say, which are attacking on the black's king side. Oh really? When did he mimic? Can you please tell me? I would like to see when somebody did the mimicry, because that is something cool. I would like to see how he mimics people. Okay, fine. So here these two things are there. So obviously, okay, black was a little bit clever. He did not go for the pawn on b2. He played bishop b4, and after bishop b4, b takes c3 was played, and the bishop went back to e7 square. Yeah, it's not something. So what is the problem with bishop e7? This move bishop e7 looks very innocent, that anybody would love to, like, will easily play. Okay, or your opponent is attacking your bishop, so just go back with bishop e7. This looks very normal move, but how you can do it? Queen d5 is your suggestion. Okay, good. Queen d5, yes, queen d5 is a good move here in this position, because here black cannot really support the pawn on f7. Okay, even if he plays knight h6 in this position, we can just simply capture bishop into h6, because if he captures here, queen takes f7 will be a check and mate, and there is no satisfactory answer also to support the pawn on f7. So whenever you are playing, maybe here, even if you go for bishop c5 here in this position, I can say that I can even play bishop into f7, king into f7, then queen d5 check, or queen h5. The moral of the story is, like, we will be picking up the bishop on c5, plus black's king's castling right will be gone in that case. So that is not something which we would like to play in this case. Okay, another thing is also there, that after bishop e7, queen d5, we should definitely see this also. After bishop b4, okay, then this bishop e7, queen d5, d6 is something which he can play. Okay, castling is not there. d6 something which can be played. And now how to continue, guys? Please tell me, how will you continue in this case? Come on, tell me the answer. After d6, how to continue? Don't just tell me one move. Don't just tell me one move. I can see queen into f7 is a move, and then king d7. After that, what? It's very important. After that, what? Not just the one move, guys. One move, even a school going kid also can tell me. Anybody can tell me. After this, how will you continue? This matters more. Queen f5, king c6, queen b5. Okay, Lalitaditya Iyer. Okay, Bominathan. That seems to be good and interesting option, because if he goes here, sorry, not this move. Sorry about that. Queen b5 is the move which definitely white would like to play. And one more thing is that king c6 is definitely not a good idea. If king e8 is played, then we can play bishop f7 check first, or can we play something else? I think bishop f7 also can be played here. If bishop f8 is played, then bishop e6, then knight f6 is coming, and we can definitely capture the bishop on c8, and that should also be winning for white here. So the thing is that when you're playing any kind of opening, especially against the Danish gambit, this kind of opening, don't be too much afraid. Okay, don't be too much afraid. The best way to play in this position, okay, after this would have been playing bishop to d6, because if you play queen d5, then the queen can come on e7 square and everything will be protected. Next move, we will be playing knight f6 move, and then queen will also be attacked, and then we can even go for castle, or we can wait for a while and we can play knight c6, the bishop will move definitely, then d6, bishop will come out, and then we can go for long castling. Okay, so understand your opponent's ideas, guys. Don't just go for the material. Even if your opponent is giving up some material, it means that he has some kind of a trick up his sleeves. So try to understand why your opponent is giving one pawn or maybe two pawn. There should be some logic behind it. Okay, nobody just gives up the pawn just like that. Okay, sometimes people make mistakes, but when somebody is giving up pawn, like he is playing the move without just casually, he is thinking and playing it, then there must be some kind of a trick behind it, and you should be able to understand it. Okay, I hope you understood this thing. So we'll go to the next one. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Okay, so here, as I was talking about, after bishop c4, this is also one of the moves which is there. Bishop takes b2. Okay, nice to see you guys. There is no super chat here. Danish gambit in two moves. Well, if you want to just not go for it, then the best move in this position to decline it is d3 move. Okay. No, it is not scholar's mate, brother, or anything. Danish gambit is something which is very interesting, I'll say. Scholar's mate is like very easy. d3 is the move. Don't just take the gambit pawn on c3. Just play d3 and the Danish gambit will never occur on the board. Okay, I hope because the bishop needs to go to c4 square, and if he goes to c4 square, then the pawn on c3 will be looking very stupid, because the knight on b1 needs to go to the c3 square. So in order to do that, maybe here in this position you can even play d6 move, then c4 will be played, then knight f6, then knight c3, and white's idea of sacrificing the pieces and getting all the pieces into the game will not really happen in this game. Okay, yeah, you can definitely do that. You can develop your piece, but in that case white will be the one who will be getting the center control more easily. So if you don't want to give up the complete control with the two pawns to white, then it is recommended to play d3 move, or you can even play something like d5 move also. This is also something which you can definitely play, and if he captures here, then we can play queen takes d5, and this position seems to be okay, because you have not taken the Danish like gambit, you have not taken it, and the pawn on c3 is not that well placed. Maybe if he captures here, then this position is now converted, and black's pieces are ready to come in the game very quickly. Okay, ready to come. I hope this will definitely help you, Okay, you need to study it. So remember, there are two moves, d5 and d3. Okay, will you remember it? I hope you will remember it. I hope you will remember. Look at some games with the moves d3 as well as d5. D3 is played if you want to convert the game into closed positions, and if you want to game to be a little bit more open, then d5 is played. Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. So here well thank you very much. Well, we'll see some of the things which I have already planned. We are going to see those things today, and maybe in future we will see other things also. Okay, because we cannot learn everything in just one day. So have some patience and learn what is there in front of you. Okay, maybe if you have already learned it, then I can't help it. Okay, so because last time Danish Gambit was some people asked me, that's why today we are looking at it. Okay, so maybe today you talked about Stanford Gambit, so maybe next time we will look at it. Okay, fine. So bishop b2, bishop b4 check is given by black, and now okay, you can play knight d2 move, but that is not that much impressive move, because maybe black can even go for queen g5 kind of a move, attacking the pawn on g2, as well as the knight on d2 is also going to be attacked. And if black manages to exchange the queens here in this position, okay, then black will be very happy. So here Stafford Gambit. Okay, I really don't know the gambit. Otherwise I would have told you. So king f1 is played by white. Black play knight f6, developing a piece. e5 is played. Now my first question for you in this particular position, like what would you play from black side? Okay, just let me know guys, which move will you play? I think there are which move will you play here? Your opponent is attacking your knight here, so what to do here? Knight e4 will be a mistake, guys. Knight e4 will be a mistake. Can you please tell me why knight e4 is a mistake? This is not that good move. Why it is not that good move? Queen d5. Well, queen d5, yes, queen d5 is one of the moves, but instead of queen d5 also, I will prefer to capture on f7, because if you capture here, then after this check, the king needs to go somewhere, and then I will capture on e4, and the king's like possibility of castling is also gone, plus this bishop is also being attacked, and white's pieces are more active in that case. So bishop f7 is much more better than bishop f7 is much more better than queen d5, because okay, if you play queen d5 in this position, then I can even play knight g5. If you play h4, this kind of a move, then the knight will be coming on e6 square, and black will just defend the position. Okay, he will defend the position. So this is the thing which you should always see your opponent's ideas, guys. That's why we are looking at this kind of simple mistakes which happen in the game, the simple chances which are there. We are not looking at something like just give some sacrifices and just win in the game. Those kind of things we are not looking at today. We are looking at the things today which are more practical, which happens on the board more often. Okay, because these are the common mistakes which happen everywhere. and I hope you will understand it much more better. This will be much more useful also for you if you go for if you study this kind of positions instead of just sacrificing something, one piece or two piece, which is actually a false sacrifice, and hoping that your opponent will be tricked. But if you pay attention to this kind of small mistakes, then maybe you might save your game, or maybe your opponent, if he is making this kind of a mistake, then you will take advantage of it. That's my purpose of showing you this small things. Okay, I hope you are understanding also. That's why here d5 is the move which you need to play. The idea of d5 is definitely to shut down this bishop. Another thing is that the bishop on c8 is also coming in the game very quickly, and at any point if en passant happens in this position, okay, just for the sake of clarity, if the en passant happens in this position, then okay, we have two options. One is like we can capture it back, or we can even castle. This is also something, and I will say that here castling is much more better, because white doesn't have the time to capture on c7 because his queen on d1 is hanging. Okay, and if he goes for something like queen to b3, then definitely we can just capture it back with the bishop, and black should be fine here in this case. So the game will continue. So the main point of this thing is like you should go for the activity of the pieces. Okay, here after d5, bishop b5 check is the most important move, and here bishop d7. Okay, after bishop takes d7, if you play here, okay, after bishop takes d7, knight can capture here. Sorry, not this one, sorry sorry about that. Here knight should capture it because the knight on f6 was attacked, and I feel that this position seems to be okay for black, no problem here, and it is white who is not having that much good position. I'll say the king on f1 seems to be a little bit awkwardly placed. He needs to play g3 followed by king g2, and black can easily castle in this position. One good move from black's white side is e6 move, and after this you can capture here, then bishop takes g7 is coming, so definitely it is not a good idea. So again, my question for you, after e6 how will you continue? Can you please tell me what will be your continuation here in this position if he plays like this e6 move? Let's see whether we can get it. f6, I am Solanki. Knight f6, yeah, knight f6 is something which I would play here, because if you capture here, then I can capture it back, and next move the rook is going to come on e8 square, and the king will definitely hide on g8 square, and if it's needed, then the pawn on d5 will be supported with the c6 pawn, and it should be okay position for black. So even though the king is a little bit outside, but it will be artificial castle. So it is artificial castle, guys. Okay, the first move castling which is suggested here by RCA NMX is not that cool, because if you castle here, your piece on d7 will be lost, and white will be the one who will be having one extra piece. Okay, I hope you got it. So these are the things which are there in this position, guys. Okay, so I think these are the things which you should not miss. So we'll go to the next one, guys. We'll go to the next one. We'll go to the next position, which is similar. Okay, one thing is there, instead of bishop d7, okay, instead of bishop d7, if knight d7 is played, then how to continue in that position, that is also we should understand here. Knight d7, how to continue in this position. Okay, black is temporarily 2 pawns up here in this position, but white is not someone who is going down the hill. Okay, white is not someone who is going down the hill. So how to continue here. I sometimes I feel like when the people like Aryaman comes on the like live show, it feels very funny after reading their chat. Okay, e6 is something which you are suggesting. Definitely e6 can be played, but I think like before playing e6 there is a better move. Before playing e6 there is a better move. E6 if you play, okay, I can just capture here again. Bishop into g7 is one of the moves. Definitely e6 is, but I will prefer to play queen g4 first. Okay, he needs to support the pawn on g7, and then after that after that you need to see that if your opponent, okay, here what is happening is like pawn on g7 is being attacked, that is one thing, but sometimes we miss something which is long distance, that is the bishop on b4 is also being attacked here. So bishop f8 can be played here, and after bishop f8 then you go for e6. Okay, so here after e6 okay, here e6, and okay, if you capture here f into e6, can you please tell me how will you continue here? Because this is more interesting position now. That's what I said, like if he castles, then that's what I was showing you, that if he castles here to protect the pawn, the bishop on b4 will be hanging. This is something which we always miss. This is something which we always miss with the piece which is attacking from a distant. Okay, from a distant we are attacking here, so we should not miss this kind of thing. So bishop f8 might be one of the things, e6 here, and bishop g7 is definitely not a good idea here, guys, because if we capture there, then okay, we have two moves here. One is like we can just capture here queen into g7, and then okay, I cannot play this move directly. I need to play rook f8, and okay, black is still in little bit danger, but white's king is also exposed here. Okay, so bishop g7 is not good. We want to retain this bishop. Queen h5 check. Okay, yes, queen h5 check, g6, and now there is a good move, that is queen h3 move. And once you play queen h3, the thing is that rook on h8 is being attacked, the pawn on e6 is also going to be attacked, and if you play rook g8, then we can play queen e6 check, and okay, now it is little bit complicated, I'll say. If queen e7 is played, then it depends like what you want to go. If you are going for queen g8, then queen b4 is one of the moves, but even if you play like that, I have this which move should we play? Okay, yeah, no, definitely he cannot really do that. So I think the rook on g8 will be lost just like that, because two of the pieces will definitely be saved here, because after queen b4 we can first capture on d7 maybe, or we can even play knight c3, and okay, knight c3 is much more better, because if we capture here, then rook e1 check is coming, and the king is not having any squares. So I think this game is going to be over in just two moves. So please tell me, how will you end the game from white side? White to play and checkmate in two moves. Yes, Shubhangi Shah, hello. Saket Bhagat, hello. Yes, guys who are new here, thank you very much for joining me here. Kimya Virle also, hello. Okay, I'm waiting for your answer, guys. Queen into f8, very good. Queen into f8 is actually the best move in this position, because after this rook e8 is a check and mate. Very good, guys. If you have found this thing, very good, very good, proud of you. So guys, these are the things which are there in the position which are complicated. So the thing is that how we approach this position is like knight d7 definitely has some kind of great chances from the white side. So here if you want to play a little bit simple chess, then I will recommend you to play bishop d7 or even okay, bishop d7, which we already saw in the previous example. That will be much more better for you. Okay, otherwise if check is there, then you need to play your king, but playing the king will be a big mistake because he'll just capture the piece here, so that is also not that cool. Okay, so let's go to the next one, guys. In well, FI stands for FIDE instructor. FIDE instructor means certified chess coach, recognized by World Chess Federation, and that title is given for the players who are having more than 2000 FIDE rating. So my rating is more than 2000, so that's why that title is given for me as a coach. Okay, I hope you got it. So here now again we will see one or two things. We do, and after knight f6, e5 is one of the moves, and after e5 queen e7 might be played. Okay, so here e5 is played. Now after e5 queen e7, white also plays queen e2 because the pawn on e7 was pinned pawn, and now black plays d5 move. Okay, so here after d5 move, what to play? Will you go for means if d5 is a good move or not? That is my question for you. Okay, well, blindfold, you can definitely find me on online. Just type my name Atul Dahale in any social media, you will get me, and you can definitely contact me. En passant, well, there is a better alternative than en passant. Well, I think d5 is not that cool. d5 is not that good. Well, Sunita Tiwari, I'll get to your question. Let me finish this game, then we will definitely discuss about your question also. Before move e6, well, e6 was not good. E takes f6, yeah, e takes f6, and if queen takes e2, then what? E takes f6, and if queen takes e2, then what? Guys, after this what? E takes f6, I agree, e takes f6, then queen takes e2, then what to do? Bishop takes s2, yes, very good. So here after capturing the queen, you need to capture it back with the bishop, because if you capture by knight or the king, then your bishop on c4 will be hanging. So you need to pay attention to this, and once you capture with the bishop, the thing is that, okay, black is simply piece down here in this position. Okay, so here the thing is that this kind of moves which looks very tempting, the d5 kind of a move, this is a very common mistake, I'll say. d5, it seems that, okay, he is attacking my piece, I should also attack his piece, and just play it. So just play it or something like that. The moves which you play through just inertia, or you can say just based on your feeling, is not something good. We need to verify it, like what are the things which your opponent can do, and this is the move which was there, like after d5, e takes f6, queen takes e2, bishop takes e2, this coming back move, like the pieces which we even call it retrieving move, like it is retreating back. These moves are a little bit difficult to see earlier, means two moves earlier to see this move is little bit difficult. That's what black missed in this position, and maybe in your games also it might happen that you think just your opponent piece is going ahead, not going back. So pay attention, and this kind of retreating moves comes after 2 moves or 3 moves of calculation. So maybe this kind of things must have happened in your game also. So this is something which I would like to say. And instead of d5, definitely here you can play other moves. I will even say that instead of d5 we can go something like knight g8. That is something which I would like to say. Yeah, it happens. Like that's the reason I will say that you should pay attention to this kind of retreating moves also. So don't forget about retreating moves. Okay, yeah, backward moves or retreating moves. Yes, very good. So let's go to the next one. Okay, we will see one thing, that is what if he captures everything, and in Danish Gambit only we will see one more thing. After bishop b2, knight f6 is played. Okay, white played knight c3 here in this case. Yeah, it happens. Today's things are like very common mistakes which which happen in the opening phase, and that's what we are going to see today. I hope this is much more useful to you than looking at some like false gambit, I will say. False sacrifices. Okay, so here knight c3 and black plays bishop b4, pinning this knight. e2 is played to support the knight on c3. Black captures with knight takes e4, thinking that okay, he is getting a pawn. But I will tell you one thing. Okay, so here the thing is that you should not go for the pawns like e4. The reason is like you are moving your same piece again and again. That is something which you should definitely avoid. Okay, and one more thing is also there, that you should pay attention to your king's safety first, rather than going for the small pawns, or you can say pawns or something like that. So here the moves which you are suggesting here is queen d5, but queen d5 is not that good move, guys, because after queen d5 black can play knight d6, and he will save the pawn on f7 as well as attack the bishop on c4, and next move he will castle. But still, okay, this still position is quite tricky, because white still has this two bishops eyeing towards white's king side, and that is not that cool. Okay. Yeah, so here queen d5 is not good. You should play very calmly when your opponent is going for the pawns or something like that. When you are, see, remember there are two things in the chess board, like there are two types of advantages. One is static advantage and another is dynamic advantage. Static advantage means the advantage which will not just change over the period of time. Maybe after 10 moves also the advantage will be still there. The advantage is like the material advantage or the pawn structure advantage, space advantage. This is like the static. Once you get your pawns too much forward, it means that you are having some kind of a space advantage. Once you have more material, the material count will be more, and that advantage will always be there with you. But the position which we are looking at here, white has sacrificed some pawns. Here, to be precise, black has 7 pawns and white has 4 pawns. So he has sacrificed 3 pawns in this position, and it means that material wise advantage black is already ahead. Okay, but if you see the dynamic advantage are the advantages like the development advantage, initiative, attack. These are like the dynamic things which, if you don't act on them fast, then it will disappear. Means the development advantage which white is having in this position, if you don't pay attention to development, if you allow your opponent to play whatever he wants to play, develop his pieces, then your advantage will be gone. And after your advantage is gone in the position, he will be having the advantage of material which is static. Correct? Are you getting my point? So white is having the dynamic advantage, so you need to act very fast in this case. Okay, so here don't pay attention to the pawns. Okay, Don't pay attention to the pawns, pay attention to his opponent's king. So here you should simply castle in this position, because the more number of pieces you get into the game, more it will be better for you. So here white is already having 1 2 3 4. Now he brings the different piece also, that is the rook also in the game. The queen is already there in the game. Okay, so here after castling, white has plenty of pieces, and look at black's pieces. Black's pieces are still sleeping here, in this position, and these two pieces which are forward, they are going to be exchanged. So his all good pieces are already on the verge of getting exchanged. So okay, black played knight takes c3, bishop takes knight takes c3, knight takes c3 was played because we want this open file for the rook. Okay, black played bishop into c3, bishop into c3, and look at the position. Black has already exchanged his two active pieces which were there on the board, and now he castles. But after all this thing, you can see, okay, white is the one who is down in material, but he has this two dragon bishops, you can say two snipers, which are like attacking completely on the black's black's king. So how to take advantage of this thing? No, yeah, it's a little bit risky, but he cannot really do that because black is behind in material, means behind in development. That is the main thing. That's why he has given so much material. Yes, queen g4. Queen g4 is a good idea. Threatening mate on g7. He cannot play f6 move. He cannot play f6 move because the pawn on f7 is being pinned. And if he plays g6, then how to continue, guys? Just let me know how to continue after g6. Yeah, very good. Queen d4, and black cannot really save himself in this position. After queen d4, the game will be over, because even if he plays queen f6, the queen is getting exchanged on. Okay, he is going to checkmate. He's going to get checkmated on g7 very soon, and black will be lost. So this is the power of dynamic advantage, I'll say. Black's pieces were not developed. That is his main drawback in this position, and that's how you need to take advantage of it, by developing your pieces as quickly as possible. So guys, I hope that today we looked at plenty of similar themes, plenty of similar mistakes which happen in different games. So I hope you enjoyed today's session, and if you have any questions, you can definitely ask me, because still we have some 3-4 minutes, and I would like to answer your questions also. Yeah, very good, guys. Queen d4 is something which definitely you should play in this position, and the game will be over. So guys, let me know in the chat also that how you like today's session, because I feel today's session was good. And you can ask me questions also. Yeah, definitely you can see it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being so responsive in the chat. How do we learn more openings? Well, Bharat, I will say that if you want to learn more about the openings, then keep looking at good games. Try to understand why they played such and such move, because today also we looked at different games, and the thing is that we were trying to understand what should be played in the position, what not should be played. Don't just by heart the things. If you want to learn something, try to understand it. Once you understand it, then only you will be able to implement it in your game. If you just by heart, then it will not be useful for you. Okay, is there any other question? What should I do to improve my game? Well, practice. That is nothing else. Okay, thank you very much, guys. There is no best opening in the world. It all depends upon your choice. Okay, with me on leeches. Well, Yeah, these are the, today we looked at were basic only. It was not that too much difficult, I guess. Yes, Rajkumar definitely will do that. And sir, how can I improve my middle game? Well, first of all, if you are a beginner or an intermediate player, I would like to say that you should focus on your tactics a lot, and also learn end games. It will definitely help you to improve your middle game, because why to study end games is because in endgame very few pieces are there on the board, and if you learn the coordination between the pieces, let's suppose you want to checkmate your opponent with the queen also, you cannot just checkmate your opponent with only one queen. You need to take help of your king also in that case. So you will learn the coordination between the pieces even in the basic endgames like checkmating with the queen, king, two bishops, and so on. So once you understand the coordination between your pieces, the same coordination you can definitely improve or definitely implement in your middle game also. So the two things you can definitely do to improve your middle game: first thing, like solve lots of tactics and study basic end games. Okay. Yeah, Bhavani Shankar, tactics aren't a lot useful in my level, that is 1600 plus. Well, I don't think so. Tactics are not useful. Tactics are definitely useful. Maybe you should solve a little bit difficult tactics, then it will be more useful for you. Okay. So, well, Saket, I really, I don't play. Maybe someday if I'm playing against the subscribers, then definitely I'll play against you. I'll remember your name, Saket. So guys, any more questions, please let me ask. Well, you need to be aware of Bhavani Shankar. You need to create the tactics on the board. Tactics come from the, you should not try to just play for the tactics. Tactics come from good positions, and good positions come from placing your pieces on good squares. So just try to place your pieces on the good squares, and definitely when your position will be good, the tactics will come. Don't try to rush into it. Okay. Okay guys, we have already seen our lecture is more than 1 hour now, and I will take your leave. I hope you enjoyed. Before leaving, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Okay, see you then. Thank you very much for all the love and support which you share with me in the chat. Okay, bye bye, and take care. Okay, bye.